we have good audio? Yeah? All right. What's the lick? Because the Sultans play Creole. Creole. Do we have good audio on the microphone? Think we're good? And this is about warming up. How does one warm up? Well, you just saw it. You just start playing. I don't really, I've had that question asked to me a lot over my life. And the question is, what do you do for warm ups? What do you practice? How do you get going? And man, I wish I don't want to say that. I don't say it. I think I'll say a lot of people expect me to have some really elaborate answer and do 4 of these and 5 of those and then 6 of these and then I practice all my triads up and down the neck and blah 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 with all this bullshit. That's not really how I work. I don't. I just start playing songs. The song thing is what matters to me, and how I try to get my brain to start going into a musical sensibility and how I can shift what the hands automatically want to play and what the ear is imagining. This is something that I think is very important for me personally, and I don't know if it's the same for everybody, and everybody has different things that they have problems working and getting revved up on. But for me, musicality is everything, and how to get this stuff to start speaking to this and this guy. And for me, it's songs. Songs really help me think about, am I hearing what I want to play, and can I guess the melody? If it's not, like, I don't play Sultans of Swing every day of my life, right? I don't. So can I guess what the licks are, or assimilate it? I don't know if that's right, but it's close enough. I think it's something to that effect. And it's this little game of how much can I recall from memory and get it close. And am I hearing what I want to hear? How many flub notes start showing up? Or am I starting on some good ideas and expanding from there? And then, are we putting some, rock things to the test? This is a nice little scooped tone I've been messing with, dipping out a little bit of that 500. It sounds a little more modern than what I typically do. I like that thick, huge low end thing. This is typically what I like. I like that thing, right? This other one's, scooping it. Let me get this thing in tune. Kind of beating it up a little bit. It's kind of nice, just something to play with. I like both versions. It's all of this is my warm up. I'm just kind of getting my ears turned on. I just kind of like messing on some pedals and some EQ. I might play a song. Maybe we play a song here in a second, and just see how things are feeling, and just see if it's see how far away I am from where I want to be as far as knowing what notes I want to play, articulation. Yeah, let's play one. We'll use a scoop tone for it. Do we put some pitch shift on there? Kind of a nice modern rock kind of sound. We'll put some of that after it. Let's see what happens. I don't know. This is warming up. Let's just start playing some songs, You know. Just kind of blowing over that outro. That's fine. So like that's literally just where my warm-ups start and stop. Like I you know, it's kind of sit and take 4 or 5 swings at something like that, see how it feels, see how I feel, re-examine some different sections of it where I was maybe flubbing a little bit, but maybe not, you know, just kind of some of this. Getting that a little smoother. right, some Q&A. We'll do some Zeppelin too. Sure, why not? How can you retain notes and phrases? Man, it's kind of a flow thing than it is a retention and regurgitation. It's like getting in the flow of where the notes are, you know? So it's like visualization of the guitar as a linear thing, as a horizontal left and right thing. That's the most important thing. Let me ask you this and challenge you guys. If you're warming up, can you immediately just start playing phrases on one string, right? Like that's an actual musical idea, right? You know, that's that same little melody from Sultans, right? Just in a different octave. And you kind of have an idea. Listen, there's a Satch thing and Corey Wong thing, Bonamassa idea. They're like, you should mainly be able to play down like E, third string, G string, right? You know, B flat, same string, right? A, same string, right? D, same string, right? E flat, same string, right? G flat, F sharp, right there, right? And just identify every note on one string. That's half of the battle. That's maybe 30% of the battle. I think the bigger part of the battle is identifying your chord tones across one string. And this is what I think dovetails into what's a warm-up, you know? What is warm-up? Warm-up's just getting it revved, getting going, you know? And chord tones to me, listen, chord tones really, that's what outlines to the listener that you know, kind of have an idea of what you're talking about. And I don't mean verbally, I mean musically, right? So if we have this chord, you know, if we have that, you know, I can immediately go right here, you know. Having all of this information ready to go on one string set, right? Bunch of information right there. About this kind of thing. That's what helps me really get in the zone and start playing better, and I can start filling in the gaps from there. Maybe. Yeah, one more time. There we go. So this would be like something where I was like, okay, I'm kind of not clean on that. Let's play that a couple times. that kind of starts feeling like I'm getting some juices flowing, and we're starting to get some creativity rolling around and some what if possibilities. And again, this is all just a very diatonic approach. I'm not trying to stretch into the stratosphere harmonically. You know, it's like that's a work mode thing where maybe I would sit and find an idea and then work that idea, right? There was an Eric Johnson idea that I saw, and I haven't tried it. I just saw it on Instagram, and he had like these triads that were like placed together from flat fives. So he had it like, let's see. Did you see? It's that thing, right? Let's go to G and do it. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting a text message. Hang on here. Okay, yeah. Crazy sounding. And he was doing it in the jam with him and Mateo Mancuso. It was pretty wild. So basically, you're just doing this. Like 1 to flat 5 chromatically up, but I don't know how far he went. That's kind of fun right there, right? Kind of fun, right? Yeah. So now it's like kind of stretching out some harmony, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Okay. It looks like Andy's pick is at an angle as he's picking. It's just kind of like barely. Let me get on my camera to where I can see what I'm doing. It's like this. Let's see. So if I'm playing, it's kind of like that. See what I mean? Just ever so slightly downward. And that's just so I'm not planing out the tone of the guitar. One more time on that lick. Yeah, that's the angle of it. Yeah. Watched an old deep dive on Woodshed compressor and gearbox. Sold on both. Making a new board with those and maybe like a Keela Nocturne or a Zuma. Thoughts on the alternate for a Halo? I don't know why. This is just being kind of lame and douchey. But why would you swap out the Halo? Like it's killer. The only thing I would do is do a gearbox Woodshed and a VP4. You know, put that on one board. That way you can have some of this stuff too, right? That kind of thing, right? You can have the... you can have some of those tones, right? know, with that, you get that in there, right? You know. Okay, when you tune down, does it mess with your head at all? Sometimes, yeah. So like doing like Skank Banger, we play everything a half step down. So sometimes that messes with my head when something's typically in standard and it's not. However, there's a lot of Skank Banger songs that are not really, you know, they're not in tune at all, like on the original recordings. That one. So playing that a half step up feels kind of weird, you know. Let's see here. It's doing that sign-in thing again. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. I hope I'm still signed in. We'll see. It's probably going to make me do the thing. Hope this doesn't mess up the stream. Hang on. Sorry. Okay, there we go. I think we're right now. Okay. Hello from England. Roscoe's in the house. Roscoe, how are you, my friend? He says, lovely tone. What pickups? And I think somebody else in the chat. I think album. No. Who was asking? Dan Anthony was asking. Are those low output pickups? Yeah, well, sort of. They're just kind of medium, regular output. They are Alnico 2 though, instead of being Alnico 5. So they're nicer on the top end, at least to me. Nicer top end. Jeremy says, I go back and listen to old music from the 70s and 80s, and I'm shocked at how inaccurate and out of tune a lot of it is. Still kicks ass. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think there's some vibe to that too. These pickups are Woodshed Woodbucker pickups, the Sir Woodbucker pickups. And, you know, I wish I had a better brand or clever thing, but the last name seems to work, so I just put it on everything. And Woodshed was a term that my granddad used when it came to practicing. He said, boys, you need to hit the woodshed. And so that just stuck with me. Yeah. I'm checking the questions here, checking the chat. Hope everybody's good. Good on a Tuesday. Just get the Halo. Yeah, I can't even say just get the Halo. Most underrated guitar player. Oh, thanks, man. I don't know if that's true, but thanks. Yeah, you got to connect all the little pieces until it's just one big thing. That's right. You find yourself able to express yourself more artistically on the guitar versus mandolin. There are two different compare. It depends on the genre. On bluegrass, mandolin seems to be a little bit more like where my head is. But on other things, I mean, I don't know. It just depends. Yeah. To me. How about some Zeppelin? We'll do a Zeppelin. Let's try to mess around with some Zeppelin, right? Yeah, here we go. Let me get this other page going where I can see what's going on here. We'll just kind of vibe a little bit. I don't really know what we're going to play. Maybe that one. At least the front of it. Missed that sweep though. There we go. Yeah. Something fun. Arrangements while you wait. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Isn't this the human nature theme? The human nature theme was that's more human nature-y. All right, cool. Do you have a cheat code for learning intervals, visual landmarks, or just practicing? This is a good question. Like, do I have a cheat code? Not really a cheat code, but it turns into taking a song that you love, like those two songs we were just playing, and trying to identify everything in it. And you just take a piece at a time. It doesn't matter if it takes you 2 hours to do the first 10 seconds. You just say, what's the melody line? What's the melody line to human nature? And you just say, I mean, that feels like that's close to the mic melody line. It's also not T for one. It was Dire Maker. This was Dire Maker. Which is slang for Jamaica. So if you're trying to learn intervals, you say, what key is human nature in, D. And from there, you take the melody, go, okay, what's the first chord? It's G. And you go, what's the melody start on? And it starts on the third of G, the chord tone. Right? Fool in the Rain. Sorry. Fool in the Rain, Shredder. I'm an idiot. I had too many things going in at the same time in my head. Yeah. Fool in the Rain. That's what it is. Dire Maker is that one. Yeah. The yeah. Okay, so here's the interval cheat code. Take the chord, you figure out what the melody is. Right, and you get that in your head, Oh, sorry, my bad. It's hard to tell what. I mean, we're all crazy. Look, we're all crazy. No, nobody knows what we're talking about. We're all experts. The melody line, I'm going to try to finish my thought here. The melody line, you take the G chord and you go, okay, well, first of all, if we're in the key of D, what is this? What is G to the key of D? D, E, F, G. It's the 4. There it is. So 5 is A, 6 is B minor, 7 is C sharp, and then D, right? So the song goes 4, 5, right? And then 6, 3, 4, right? 4, 5. So let's just worry about that 4 chord. Now the melody, in the key of D, that would be 6, 7, and then it would be 5, 6, 3, down to the 1, right? And I'm moving kind of fast. The learning process of this is a slow process. You would take time to count up each one of those intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, right? And then 7, 5, to the 3, down to 1. So the melody line's going basically, it's going 6, 6, 7, 5, down to the 3, down to the 1. 6, yeah. Hearing how that sits over that 6 chord, right? Right? And then you just kind of take some time to figure out what the what that is against the chord that you're playing. So in the chord that I'm playing, that's a 3, 3 of the G, and then it's the 3 of the A, right? So, and then over this, so I would look at it through multiple different lenses. You go, what is this note in the key of D? That's a 6. And those are nice double stops right there. You hear Mateus and those neo soul guys do that stuff a lot. You kind of hear them do those kind of things a lot. It sounds good. I like that stuff. And And then you would look at it from how it looks against the 4 chord. Here's the 4 chord, 5 chord, 3, 4, 5, 6. To me, the melody lines and the intervals and how you learn these things are all super intertwined. Let's take Fool in the Rain. The melody. Right? Yeah. So we take that melody line, we see what's happening there. And then we take the bass line. That's a simple melody. And then we figure out what the bass is doing. And we go, okay, well, that's walking up scalar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, right? And the melody's on the 3rd, So I would look at, see how many places those overlap, right? Is the Truth and Lie tab not up, Brian? It should be. I sent it to Chuck. Chuck's had it. So if you have a problem, let me know. Message me on Instagram or something. But I sent it to Chuck. He should have it. But yeah, you just start taking, that's how I learned intervals. Was kind of learning them around the songs. We're talking about Highlander Boogie. Jeremy's talking about Highlander Boogie. This is the... So like in this song, Highlander Boogie, I would look at how all of this stuff sits over, an A chord, because the song's an A, but we got G. And we would say, okay, those chords are A. So 1, flat 7, 4. And then I would look at all of the intervals on how we work over that. So we'd have 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. This is the kind of interval structure that a lot of Dixie Dregs stuff has. Let's examine this for a second. If we want to examine this kind of harmony, mixo harmony, I think you got to go straight to the source. My man Richard Betts. Richard Betts. all of this whole song really revolves around this harmony that we were talking about, which is the Highlander boogie harmony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, 3. So like learning melodies and songs, again, it always comes back to tunes. Like I don't do the lick thing. Like as far as, you know how some guys, like they've got a thing that they take out and plug in. To me, it's like I've got my bag of licks, my bag of tricks and maneuvers and tactics, but they're all malleable a little bit. They're not set in stone. So it creates a fluidity and an ease of use when I kind of jump back and forth, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the almonds. Yeah, for sure. It's all of that stuff, right? Ever use slide? You know, slide, for me, I use slide with the bar, like. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I use the slide effect. For me, is kind of, I don't have a slide. I mean, I do. I'm just trash with it. I'm such a terrible slide player that I'm better without it. At least at imitating it. Who has the better guitar collection? Me or Ben Eller? I think it depends on what you like. Ben has quantity. I have quality. A couple of prize pieces that Ben doesn't have. A vintage, not a vintage, but an old 90s Telly with a B-bender is a pretty unique guitar. I have a Martin D45. I think that trumps about any guitar that Ben's got. But now, that's just, what are you after? You know, I think the coolest guitar that Ben has is the Steve Vai guitar that's the black with the paisley. To me, that's the coolest guitar he has. Also, I have guitars with my name on them. So that's cool. That's cool. But if you don't like me or you don't like my name, then my collection's way worse. So it just depends on what matters to you. Do I have any Strats? Yeah, I've got a Dan. That's another one. I've got the Dan Huff Strat, which is incredible. It's a Sir, but it's based off Dan's Tyler, and it's got all the same electronics and stuff that Dan's Tyler has. Another thing is my orange, the orange one right back here, that one, that's about the best sounding classic Strat 3 pickup guitar that either of us have. Like, that's the best one. Ben's got a lot of like 7-string metal, you know, these dunnable kind of things, which are, if you're going to chug around on somebody, you know, Ben's got Jacksons. I don't have Jacksons. I've got this cool Explorer. I've got the Pound Cake guitar, which is pretty cool. The Ernie Ball Music Man Pound Cake guitar. He's got a Lukather guitar, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think it just depends on what you're after. Any update on your new Sir product release? Your use of the bar for Bruhera says, thank you for saying that 2 hours might take, just play the first 10 seconds. I don't need to hurry the process. That's for real, man. Like, I think most guys get in a hurry and try to rush the process, and they treat guitar like it's like trying to conquer something. They're trying to get the end of it. They're trying to get the end of the exercise or the end of the song or the end of whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying by that? And I think trying to get to the end of it is, I think that's the problem. You can't really look for getting to the end of it. You gotta really look at, the journey really is what makes you a better player. It's just something that I've found. Once the technique is assimilated, it's there and you're cooking or whatever. But the process of learning music, to me, is more valuable than downloading some kind of walkthrough or spoon feeding lesson. I think this is a hot take. This is scalding. I think trying to learn something by ear and learning it wrong and then going back and checking your work is more beneficial than starting out with like the tablatures and the notation. I think trying to ear your way through it really makes a difference, and it establishes what registers with you. Like, I was learning a lot of Eric Johnson stuff, quote unquote, wrong, but because I didn't know that he down double picked some things. But because of that, I was matching and assimilating the tone and the notes. And so, like, I got a pretty decent Eric Johnson impersonation. You know, I can copy a lick or two and sound convincing. I think that comes from not obsessing over how he did it mechanically, but obsessing over the sound of it. Obsessing over the details, the minutia of the details. That makes the difference to me. So, Al's in the house. He says proper clothing for life. So let me just go ahead and show this bad boy off. You know, a little fam, little home team right there. They base these three characters off me, Al, and Chad. And when we're working together, that's kind of like what we look like right there. Is those three guys. So yeah, this is a hell of a good event right here. The Shiprocked event, you guys know I love working on that, and that's a challenging event in and of itself, because one of the things that we do when we're crafting some of those moments is we try to guarantee that no matter what could happen on stage, so there's always a safety net to it. And by that, I don't necessarily mean somebody not doing a good job on their instrument. I mean something like a cable gets unplugged to the piano. Well, we need to be able to play those keyboard parts, right? So when we're doing the Shiprock stuff, me and the boys will learn every aspect of the tune and make sure. So at that point, you're really stretching your ear to assimilate things that are not guitar things. And I think that's really important too. A lot of my playing has some moments and inspiration from dobro and pedal steel, and, you know, assimilating some of those, those kind of sounds, right? Let's maybe have, like if you have, all these kind of like harmonic things. You could have them a fourth away, or you could have them an octave away. Very much a pedal steel inspired kind of sound, right? You know, especially those kind of things. Again, that came from like reverse engineering the sound of it, and watching guys and seeing, sometimes you can see a technique but not understand how it works, and then you're kind of doing the right thing the wrong way, and that can lead you down a path of discovery. One of the things that I know, I'm not sure how Vi does the some of the sweep tap things that he does. Let's say maybe it's one of these. series of intervals that I hear Vi do a lot. They'd be like in the key of A. And I don't know if Steve was hammering all of those. And I don't know if he was, picking any of it. I don't know how he does them. But I learned it by ear, so it allowed me to assimilate it into my hands from a fluidity standpoint that made it instantly accessible. And that goes back to kind of what I was saying, answering the question earlier. I think that the hot take is learning something wrong will allow it to assimilate into your hands faster. Now, I'm not saying the wrong notes. I'm just saying, I don't know if he's hammering all of it. Or if he's going, especially on those high gain kind of sounds. Well, Jeremy, this isn't really Lydian. Check it out. We're in A. I'm seeing that more as Mixolydian. If we're here playing. What was it? So I'm seeing that as Mixolydian. Jimmy says, big fan. Cheers, Jimmy. I'm writing my tunes, and I would like some tips on creating melodies based on chords I'm using. Okay, this is fun. Okay, let's do it. This is time to make a good melody. All right, somebody put a chord in the chat right now. Do you have an upcoming approach to dialing overdrives on practical? Yeah, we'll get to that. Maybe that's be another stream. Maybe that's next week. Type me a chord. F7 sus. Is that a major 7? A minor. F's happening. So let's say we got F. And he says 7, but with a sus. So, that could be that could be that sound if you wanted it to. That's really a lot. But, to me, let's just start with F. If you can't make a good melody on F, then you sure as hell can't do it with a suspension or a 7th. Be able to start something good right here. So, right here, right? So you can fill in I don't need a progression because we'll make a progression based on the melody, right? Kinds of stuff. Look, I'm not overthinking. I'm really just trying to listen. So if I hear the root, I'm immediately thinking what that third's going to sound like. Maybe that's a different melody. Maybe it's a different song, right? kind of dig what I'm getting at? You start taking a chord, any chord, and you just start playing with the chord tones within it. And that was just writing melodies off of this, right? We can have the melody start on the root, right? So maybe if it's this and we wanted something. That's a nice little vamp right there. If you wanted something else, you could have more of a metal kind of sound. Let's take. Maybe it goes there. It's kind of gets to something like that where it's to me that gets real kind of end of the heartache, kill switch, Of course, if we were drop D, it would be even more ferocious and we could do more things, We could do some more stuff like that. But everything kind of builds, it all starts and stops off of. Yeah, that's kind of, to me, how it all kind of glues in. And that's how I've written a lot of tunes too. I had some cool arpeggios worked up to that yesterday. Yeah. Kind of had all that kind of stuff working, all that, Maybe we'll play that. Let me see if I can play those arpeggios within the context of the song. This may not be very good. kind of working it out. Getting some things that I like in there, some things that I don't like in there. I wish I got the arpeggios a little cleaner. I worked on them yesterday a long time. Let's jump right back in on the middle of that solo, and let's see if I can do those arpeggios any cleaner. Yeah. Just right in the arpeggios. One more time. It's just trying to get those things to kind of be clean and precise, and they come out there. And if you look at it from some root standpoint, you can start seeing all the chords around it. So one thing that advanced guys have in their back pocket is they can kind of see all the changes at the same time. So if we had to go from C and you had to go to maybe G, so here will be G, C, D, E minor. Being able to see all of that stuff kind of on the fly is really powerful to have in your back pocket. Can you see what you could come up with in E minor to C progression? Yeah, that's kind of what you hear in Reach. It's that kind of thing, right? Right. Some kind of that. I think that's another thing that maybe gets people hung up when they're yeah, look at Kari, she's right there. People get hung up when they're trying to write and they keep playing too much crap. I think it's a bit of a personal taste preference, but you can have all the stuff in the world, but if it's so busy and there's no melodic return, there's no return to the melody, there's no sense of anchor point, then you're just writing sheets of sound. You're just writing sheets of sound and sheets of notes. But, if you have even, when you're having all of those kind of things, when you have Bach, he's returning to the melodies. When you have John Williams, you have returns to the melody that makes the song. It makes a song, right? You know. So if you're never returning to anything and you're constantly just playing more notes and starting new ideas, your music will have a tendency, and your improvisations and your compositions and everything will have a tendency to sound like you're just starting sentences and never finishing them. And so there is no composure or structure to the song. And a great litmus test is, can you play the riff with nothing else around you and it sound right? You know, what's a good one that I could do? Like my songs on my record, they return to the melody. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not comparing myself to John Williams or Bach or any shit like that. But I am saying that like those guys inspire me to write a certain way. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. There's a strong sense of returning to the melody, even in something like maybe what was that? I can't remember play with it. Right? It's there's a reason it's a song, right? You know. Guess what we're gonna do? We're going to return to those melodies, right? These things are so important in what constitutes, I think, strong craftsmanship. And I would be lying. I think the songs that I put on my past couple of all my records is the strongest melodies that I could craft. Of course, there's hot licks or something, but it's really about the melodies. If we were even take Free Range Chicken, what a lot of people see as the first section of music, that's not what I consider the melody. Melody is that's the melody. Let me put on a little bit of dirt. That's the melody to Free Range Chicken. It's not. That's the kind of the riff. That's the riff to me. You know. But to me, the chicken is this. Like, that's a strong melody, and it makes me smile. It makes me feel like, you know, Richard Petty. You know, that's what it makes me think of, right? And the high wing, the road runner, right? But if I look at all the melodies that really sound great and have stuck out to me over the years, you know that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like those make good. I mean, that's why I love John Jorgensen. You know, those are all good melodies to me. Yeah, I think that's what matters. And returning, I guess maybe to put the finer point on it, a melody is not something you play once and never acknowledge again. You come back to it. I haven't learned it's showtime. I need to. The Woodshed is the bomb. You don't need to be like anyone else but you. That's true. Asheville Guy, getting ready to slap the Woodshed comp on my pedal board thanks to the Sweetwater package that just arrived. What settings do you recommend to start with in the ballpark? Thanks, man. All right, Asheville Guy. Speed is fast. Thresh and gain. Thresh at noon, 1 o'clock. Gain, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Ratio just where you need it. Just wherever you need it to be, you know. You know, that it just needs to be wherever you think it is. Yeah, Paul McCartney melodies. I mean, come on, brother. You know. I mean, those melodies are so great. Or stuff is, I mean, that's it, right? You know, that's the ticket. That's the ticket for me. The stuff that I love, for sure. What tuning method do you use? Oh gosh, I don't know. It's kind of been pitchy today, but it's just from digging in on it. Hang on. I usually start on the D or the A string. I usually start on the D or A string, like that, and then jump to the G, the B, go back, check the D, and then do the high E, check the D, E, check the D, A. So I'm kind of tuning from the inside out, right? That sounds nice, yeah. Yeah. Feels good. Yeah, high E's being a booger today. Yeah. How often do you change your strings? A lot. I have to change them a lot. I have really acidic hands, and I try to keep them wiped down, but yeah, man, my strings have to be changed an awful lot. So, all right, I'm going to take a break here and then update some firmwares and do the things like that. So, thanks for hanging out. Let's do some housekeeping here. The housekeeping is, if you like the live streams and you like the content that we make here, think about going over to Patreon, throwing some money in the beer bucket. That's gives you, if you join even at the basic tier, the $5 tier, that gets you access to hundreds of videos, hundreds of lesson videos, settings, all kinds of things. And that scales all the way up. I do have a couple of slots right now available in my monster tier. The monster tier allows some one-on-one sessions. You get one 30-minute one-on-one session a month at the monster tier. So yeah, think about it. Those are only available as allowed. Because there's only so much time in the month, in the week, right? So if you're interested in that, check out all that stuff. That's all at andywood.com. Sorry, no, that's all at patreon.com/andywoodmusic. And that gets you the masterclass, the live masterclass, and all those goodies. The tablatures and tone packs, like for the fractal devices. There's the backing tracks. You heard me play into some backing tracks today, Charisma and Reach and stuff like that. All those backing tracks are over at andywoodmusic.com. They're all available for sale. They're pretty daggum cheap. And then you can buy bundles that have like all of them together. So yeah, if you enjoy the stream, think about supporting. As always, cheers to all my Patreon members. You guys are the reason we get to do this, and you keep the machine running. So thanks for being part of the Woodshed community. And then we're only a few weeks out from Woodshed Guitar Experience, of course, right here in lovely East Tennessee. And we're going to have some fun laying out the song selections, and we're going to have a big time. So woodshedguitarexperience.com. Use code AWOOD300. Get you a little discount. Of course, that's if there's slots remaining. So if you can make it in. We also have day passes. If you can make it in, you can only come in from the day. You only fly in. You maybe go to Nashville, something for the weekend. We have day passes available for Woodshed. Eric Gales is coming. Martin Miller, Greg Koch, Justin Derrico, John Jorgensen. It's going to be super fun. Super, super fun. I'm really excited for it. I'm in like crunch mode of getting all the stuff together. I'm like looking around the room at like everything that needs to be packed and loaded, and I'll get it all in the big box truck and get it down there. It's going to be great. And big stereo rig, very self-indulgent guitar rigs. And if you come, of course, you can play all my pedal boards and guitars and stuff like that. So yeah, if there's anything that I've left out, that's my fault. But as always, thanks for hanging out with us. And these are just tactics and shooting from the hip and things that I think of. I guess the overall review for today is, how do you warm up? You just start playing music. Don't get caught up in the semantics. I want to get to music and songs as fast as possible. And don't try to feel like you've got to conquer the song. Don't feel like you got to get the whole song done in a day. Just work on the first, verse. Just work on a verse. Ain't no time limit. We're all just going to play guitar till we're dead. So there ain't no time limit. All right, guys, be blessed. Thanks for hanging out. We all over here at the Woodshed camp, we love you very much, and thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next one.